in some sort of twisted sense, I am literally married to music. Music got me through shit, and it's a really integral part of just living life for me. So especially right now when I'm chasing my dreams, I think all the more it plays an important role in just helping me get through life. And here are 6 albums that are heavily on my rotation. Aside from like why I like them, I'll also be touching upon what makes it significant to me and what lessons I take away from them. So let's start now. Number 6 is The Provocateur by Adele. And you may be wondering, isn't this an EP? And you'll be right, but to be honest, I do not care because this is my channel and I can do anything with it. Okay, but I think The Provocateur is such an interesting album because, like, to be honest, I never followed Dream Academy, that documentary. I caught a wind of some information. And one of the most prominent ones was actually Adele being like hated on. Apparently, she was complaining about Manon, and it was a whole fiasco. I was kind of confused. Why are you filming a therapy session? What is going on? And throughout this whole thing, all I see is just that if Adele was actually in Cat's Eye, it would be such a shame for her talent because she is, in my opinion, a solo star. She is not meant to be in a group, in my opinion. She has this star quality that it makes it very hard for her to be in a group and not stick out like a sore thumb. And the fact that she got voted off is a blessing in disguise because we got the Provocateur EP out of it. And I feel like that EP was immaculate. I think it really goes to show that Adele is really meant to be a solo star. And it also teaches us that maybe certain paths are just not made for you and you really need to start building your own path that is modified just for your circumstances. And in a sense, I am doing the same now. I'm building a path that is really unconventional, that is, as far as I know, not many people has gone down. And it always calls to the idea that sometimes when you think you're failing, maybe sometimes you are just not fit for the traditional path. You are meant to build a path that is novel, something that is trailblazing. And some people are just meant to create paths and not follow them. And Adele is one of them. The Provocateur is really a testament to that. I think a lot of the songs are really bold and just outright provocative, and it really lives up to the name of the album. And the picture too. Like literally, I cannot open up the album out in public. Every time I want to listen to the album in public, I literally have to turn my brightness down just so I can like tap on the album cover and actually start playing the song. Because that album cover is literally provocative, and every song is also provocative in its own right. Like Sex on the Beat. I cannot play that out loud on the speaker at home. Okay, but it's also very telling of how unique the talent Adele has, and that it is not really suited for being a compliment. It is more so suited to be a standout. I think that is what is so great about the album, and it also inspires me to just like be comfortable with the idea that maybe the traditional path doesn't fit me and that I have to carve out my own path just to do that. Okay, number 4, which is a very interesting number on this list because I actually have 2 albums, and why I have that is because in terms of the lessons that I've taken away from both of them, they are quite similar in that respect. So I'm just gonna put them together in like the same category. And that is Midnight Sun by Zara Larsson as well as That's Showbiz Baby by Jade. And they are both very loud albums. And I mean in terms of literally volume as well as in terms of their style and their message. And primarily what I take from them is this idea of being unapologetically loud about what you want. I think in both albums they talk about chasing your dreams and really chasing this idea of like success that they really want but like are unable to do because they are constantly getting overlooked. And this recognition is something so admirable to me because not many people are willing to acknowledge what they want and more so like the struggles that they go through just to get what they want. And in a sense that having such a example or having someone who recognizes that is, it makes me feel. And one of them is The Ambition, which is by Zara Larsson on Midnight Sun, and it details her just wanting to have a breakthrough in the American music market, and she doesn't shy away from the fact that she wants to be loved. She really wants to be a star over there. And literally in the chorus it says, but that's the thing about The Ambition, everything's a competition. Yeah, it got me a lot, but that's not good enough. I want to be loved. I live and learn the hard way, and it's a chronic heartbreak in I Wanna Be a Star, which really talks about her just wanting to. When I first heard it, I remember it's like, wow, that she was really open about the fact that she just wants to be loved. Like she just really wants to be a superstar. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, this confession in a sense is so admirable because like her just outright stating that she wants to be part of the higher pop echelon of like, for example, your Ariana Grande, your Taylor Swift. But the problem is that she has tried so many times and failed so many times, and like the honesty is just really in a sense sobering as well as really relatable. And I feel that in some way or another it does echo my journey right now. It's just like just trying and really like putting myself out there and stating what I want, trying and failing and trying and failing, and this whole process is just so in a sense demoralizing. And the fact that there is such a confession such a confessional piece in a sense, is kind of, it makes me feel seen, and I really love it. And the same thing can be said about Jade's music video for Headache. And I think it is really about performing, really about putting in your best, but yet, like, in a sense, you're still not being fully acknowledged, and in a sense it feels kind of demoralizing, you know. And having such a common experience kind of makes me feel seen, and I think really makes me feel like I am not alone within all this whole entire journey, and that it is definitely something I should just keep holding out hope for, and something I should not give up, and just keep trying until like something works. Because if others have the strength to do it, why not me? And this idea of being unapologetically loud about this struggle and is really what inspires me to just like also recognize these pains and struggles that just this journey itself contains. It just makes me, and it makes me much more aware and much less resentful about it, you know. Really sitting with it, processing it, and in a sense like grieving the comfort that I used to have, and just being at peace with it, and then continue and trying again. Number three, we got Edison. Edison is such an interesting album for me because it took me by surprise. I didn't know Edison had game like this. My first rodeo with Edison was actually with Obsessed, and quite frankly, it wasn't a good experience. Okay, when I first saw that music video, I was like, oh hell no. Okay, it's just another TikTok star just trying to be a singer, and quite frankly, I was so done with it. Okay, and everyone was in a sense done with it as well, and her whole EP flopped. And many people, once they flop publicly, they most likely would just retreat and never release music, or release a single like every 2 years, because they don't want to release a full body of work, and just so they can get rejected by the public again. She literally got Charlie XCX on to refine. She literally got Charlie XCX on board to refine her sound, and subsequently worked with a all-female production team and produced Edison. And in my opinion, I feel like this album really teaches us just trying again. The whole idea of no matter how hard or like how trying certain things may look, it is really important for us to try again, because you never know when things will work out for you. It really is just trial and error, and in a sense, like, you really have to keep your hopes up and smile through the pain and just try and try again. And it is really like that when you're chasing a dream. For Edison, it will be her break into the music industry, and for me, it will be chasing my breakthrough in motorsports. And this is really exemplified in her song In the Rain, which she sings misunderstood, but I'm not gonna sweat it. Isn't it all for the show? Keeping a smile on my face for protection and turning my tears into gold, which is something that is really admirable in my opinion. I feel like not everybody can just like decide, oh, I'm gonna just keep a smile on my face, I'm gonna like smile through the pain and literally turn my pain into art. It is not an easy thing, and it is really impressive that she was able to do that. And in the same song, she also does not hold back on the vulnerability of chasing that, of like retrying. And in some ways, it's kind of embarrassing to try again after you fail. But that's the whole point, which is that if you are someone who is able to do that multiple times, who can continuously do that, then there is no reason to say that you can't find a breakthrough in anything. Because if you're willing to try again after the embarrassment, after the setback, then your breakthrough is going to be inevitable. It's just a matter of time. And one more thing for me that is very admirable about this is that for Edison, I think that it is really brave of her. To be honest, I feel like it's very brave of her for her to just like be constantly making music, constantly be refining her sound, be willing to improve and stay in the game despite everybody literally relegating her to this TikTok persona that she has been trying to shake off. And in my opinion, it is really impressive that she has been able to hold on for that long and hold out until she releases this album. So, and it really is something worth contemplating about, especially if you are chasing ambition or like chasing for something that seems impossible or something that everybody seems to judge you for. So, okay, number two, Sincerely by Kali Uchis. I feel like this album is so dreamlike, and I think Pitchfork really summed it up really well with one word, which is phantasmagoric, which according to dictionary.com means having a fantastic or deceptive appearance as something appearing in a dream or created by the imagination. And it literally just sums it out like that. The way that Kali Uchis sings is so smooth. The world that she built with the production is honestly very dreamlike. If I have to put it in a visual imagery, it's like kind of you being in a fog, or like being in a translucent silk sheet, and the sheet is just being pulled right before your eyes. And I think that is really what it was. And also another thing that is so great about this album is really its messaging, which is all about loving something unapologetic. I think it is something so important, especially right now. I think people are constantly feeling like they are being judged for just just loving something so much, or like caring about something so much. And like you can often see this people just not trying because they feel they're gonna be seen as trying too hard, or like trying to force something out of nothing, or like loving something so unconditionally that is like against all rational thinking, and people are afraid of that judgment. And I feel like it is so sad because so many ambitions die just by that thought. And I feel like it is really important for us to embrace this whole idea of just loving something because you genuinely love something. Yeah, like you don't have to have a reason for loving something. You just, if you want to love something, then love it. Like love it with all your heart, and you're not hurting anybody with by loving something. Then it shouldn't really matter what you are loving. And this lyric, in all I can say, really summed it well, which is, no, I'm not sorry for the way I am. I am not sorry for the way I love or the heart that I have. I'm not sorry for the dreams I dream or the life that I live, because it all belongs to me. And it is so true, because at the end of the day, all of this just belongs to you, okay? As far as I know, your life does not belong to anybody. And at the end of the day, you are only on this earth for so long. And what is the point of loving what others love? I don't know how many times I repeated the word love, but the problem is that love is something so intrinsic. And yet, if you want to attach something so external, then what is the point of just living? You know, what's the point of loving something if it is loaned out to other people? Like, why are you letting other people dictate what you care so much about? And in some way or another, I feel like on this journey, like, I am constantly chasing something so unconventional and something that is like impossible, and because of the circumstances, it does seem like something that I shouldn't be caring about. But the problem is that because I'm so passionate about it, I feel like it is something I'm willing to put my love into it. And if someone comes in and dictates what I should be loving and saying that, oh no, you shouldn't be loving this because, well, it is impossible and like it's a waste of your time, I feel like that would just make me a very miserable person. And I think in the song, as part of our deluxe, Whispers in the Wind also like states this, which is that some people spend their life chasing what don't exist, and some people don't know what they got till it ends. And I really do feel like some people are just like chasing this standard, or like just trying to follow this standard that doesn't seem to exist, or seems to be very arbitrary, like at the end of the day. And like they wouldn't know that it is so arbitrary until it ends, like when their window of opportunity is like over. Then do they realize that that actually happens, and by then it's like kind of too late. And like, and is in a sense a warning to us that love, and it's kind of a warning to us, is that if you truly am passionate about something, if you really want to chase something, if you want to care about something really much, then so long if it's not infringing on the rights of anybody, then like go for it. Go really be passionate, be caring about anything, and love it with all your heart. Like love it without any condition. And in the same song, she also said that be happy for what you have. You never know how long it's gonna last. And I don't want to take it for granted, not even for a sec, when every second slipping through our fingers just like sand. Let's not be like them. I heard whispers of the wind, tell me your secrets, I'm your friend. It doesn't matter what they say, I only listen to the wind. And it just tells us that your time here is so limited. Just do what you want, do what you care about, love what you care about. And I think it's so important for people who are chasing something very ambitious, something that seems out of the ordinary, something that seems very, well, not possible. Because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna care what you love as much as you do. They will never know how much it means to you. And so why would you let them dictate what you should love? Last but not least, we got Ray's This Music May Contain Hope. I feel like this album is one of the most masterfully produced albums that I have ever heard in my whole entire life. It spans 4 different seasons detailing the human experience, and I personally have cried, sung along, and just literally experienced everything she probably wants me to feel on this album. It was a roller coaster of emotion when I was listening to it for the very first time. And personally, I feel like this album, it really does contain hope. And to me, this album is very significant because I feel that while chasing your dreams is a very lonely process, and to some extent, it is also a very dark process whereby you can't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. I hate that idiom, but like it is like that. Okay, sometimes pessimism takes over and you really start doubting yourself time to time. And I feel like albums like these need to exist. Albums that are constantly reminding you that hope is always around the corner and that it all will eventually be alright. And personally, I feel that if I were to spin Thomas Edison's word, chasing success is really just 0.1% talent, 0.9% effort, and literal 99% hope. Most of the time, you are just hoping that things will work out. And by no means is that you are not preparing yourself, but even when you are preparing yourself, when you feel very prepared, you still kind of have to hope that all external circumstances do align in your favor and that things will work out. And that holding on to that hope is really hard. It is not easy. And I think that this album really reminds us that it is important to hope is around the corner and we just need to hold on just a little more. And I personally love the line in Click Clack Symphony where it says, she believed that one day she'll again feel the sun, she must be patient, and she must have faith in the seeds that are planted beneath the snow. And also this line, which is, the cold never lasts, my darling, it just teaches the heart how to burn. Personally, I feel like how she reframes present challenges as well as our pain as something that is temporary, something that is meant to build us up. I think that is a very nice way to put it. I feel like Click Clack Symphony as a song really emphasizes a very important message. A lot of the pains that you're going through in your life, you shouldn't be bearing it alone. That you must have a support. That especially for us like people who are chasing their dreams, really to have somebody who we feel are able to be supportive of us. I think it's really hard to find support, especially when you are chasing something so unconventional or that you are chasing something very ambitious. So it is very important, especially when you're feeling hopeless, that you have somebody who can literally drag you up and drag you out of that situation. And Lifeboat, oh my god, I cried like 5 billion times re-listening to that. That song is illegal. I have no more tears to cry. This song, I have no idea how many times I cried to it. It is such an affirmative song. It is very simple. If you just like look at the lyrics, it's a very, very simple song. But to be honest, it is a very powerful song because I feel like although you can constantly say like, we should not give up, we should not give up, we should not give up, but like, it is a very hard thing to believe in that. In the idea of not giving up, because there is hope on the other side, or like there's a better future on the other side. And I feel like this song just reminds us that, and like and to some extent makes me believe too. So I feel like it is a very important song on this album. And there's so many other songs. For example, Joy featuring her sisters Absolutely and Emma, which I feel like y'all should listen to. Okay, listen to Paracosm, listen to Middle Child. But Joy is one of the most upbeat and most triumphant songs that I've ever heard. If I'm not wrong, it is a gospel song whereby it takes a verse from the Bible and they just made it into a song. I feel like this song's message is very strong and it comes through very well because like I really love the idea that you may be crying for like the night, but when the morning comes, when the sun rises, all will be fine. I really love the idea that you have to hold out hope for happier times. I also love the repeating parts where it says like, I declare I am somebody, I declare that there will be joy. I feel like it is really important for us to be recognizing that we are significant, we are worthy enough to be like, we are worthy enough to feel happiness. And I think that is a very important thing that many people who are stuck in like hopeless situation must be able to acknowledge, is that you are significant. Okay, you are very much deserving of joy, and that this feeling of hopelessness is not the end. Like she said, she declares that there will be joy. There will be joy. It's not there may be joy, that it will be joy. And she repeats it throughout the whole entire song. And I felt like by the end of the whole song, I was like tired because I was jumping everywhere just to this song. Like, holy shit. Overall, I feel like this album is quintessential to a very pessimistic generation. I feel like it is very important for everybody to hold on to hope. And I feel like this album came at a perfect time within my life where I am like feeling at times just hopeless that I will not achieve my dreams or that I will not make any progress in anything. So this song, I feel like this album is what pushes me to continue what I'm doing, even though that I may not be seeing the things that I'm expecting to see. The whole idea of just holding on to hope is so important, and hence this album will forever be a very big part of my life where I'll just keep replaying it. In my honest opinion, I think that I will take this album to the grave. You've come to the end of the video. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. Okay, join me on my journey to chase my dreams, but also to just enjoy these little videos about me, and as well as some educational videos which I'll post from time to time. So yeah, subscribe and like this video, comment any albums that I should be listening to, and until then, goodbye.